Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast, hosted by yours truly, Misty Magdalena Grace, also known as Magical Mags. I am an abundance alchemist, helping you alchemize fear into love, pain into purpose, scarcity or lack into abundance, so that you can live your best life, your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships by trusting your best wisdom within. Please enjoy the show, like and subscribe, and leave a review if you see value in this amazing show. And feel free to stay in till the end. You may have a surprise gift waiting for you on the other side of this episode. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the new and improved, celebrating 5 years as a podcast, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. You notice that I had a new intro. Next week is my 5-year anniversary, July 21st and 22nd. I am going to be celebrating with extra guests. I normally only have about maybe 2 guests a month. And next week I have a doubleheader on Monday. We're going to be talking about money and wealth and being your own bank with Kathy Stelzo. And Tuesday, we're going to be talking with a whole slew of guests. We have a relationship and dating coach in Shanna James. We have a divorce to bliss coach and podcast host and my friend Rachel Ruby. And Scotty O is going to be here talking about Tantra. So I a little bit teeing up some of his conversation with what I'm talking about briefly today. This is going to be a really short episode, talking about sacred sexuality. And then, of course, Mansi Shah, she's one of my mentors and business partners. She and I are doing 2 things together. We're starting an 88-day vibrancy challenge for your best health, wealth, and relationships. And we're also going to be doing a women's retreat in September around the eclipse and the 9/9 portal in September for women. So I'm really excited about all of this. And this Friday, I'm actually having a women's healing talk and Zoom for a small group of women who want to heal their womb, heal their sacred sexuality, and be empowered in coming from a grounded, rooted place of owning their greatness with their womb and their yoni. So if you have an interest in any of these things, you can always go to magdalenagrace.com and check out my upcoming events calendar. We have a lot going on for the rest of the year. Including on Friday the 25th, my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Abundance Blueprint, where you're going to set goals for the rest of the year. We're going to have a cacao ceremony with Kundalini. We're going to be really working on up-leveling and removing abundance blocks from your akashic records with my friend Livia Genve. And I have a mentalist who's going to come and do some hypnosis to help you really drop in deeper. I'm all about alchemy and all about bringing the best of the best of the best to you. So if you want to drop in with us on the 25th, please go to magdalenagrace.com and sign up. So today's going to be a really brief episode, kind of a teaser for, again, next week's 5-year anniversary celebration with my podcast. My podcast has had many iterations. And at the heart of it was me transforming, alchemizing fear into love, pain into purpose, really that scarcity and lack into abundance. Abundance is our divine birthright. And I'm one part sales coach, one part yogi, one part medicine woman, and part of the yogic tradition, the ancient tradition that has been around for thousands of years, long before America was even America, teaches there are basic needs and fundamentals as part of our life, besides food and water and shelter. And of course, at the heart of that is love and human connection. And, oh my gosh, a taboo topic, nonetheless, is sex. As humans, it's part of our need. It's part of our creation. It is part of, as women, and we'll talk about this on Friday, ladies, with the yoni steam and womb healing. And I have a sex coach, a psychologist, a doctor, PhD. Michelle Dexter is going to be helping us heal sexual wounds that are based in religious dogma, based in past life karmic things, being raped and pillaged like our ancestors were. And unfortunately, yeah, both men and women being a part of that, it has hurt so many people in this lifetime. A lot of people get divorced over, sexual differences, religious differences, money differences. Sex is connected to money because it's all in the lower 2 chakras. We have the sacral, which is Usually if it's blocked by shame or guilt. There's a lot of sexual shame because people weren't taught much about it. It wasn't supposed to be talked about. Most of us grew up with that. And then you have the root chakra, which is fear and abandonment, fear of rejection. You know, if you've had divorce, if you've had relationship breakups, if you've had family abandonment, ancestral stuff is also in the root chakra. What happens there is you're blocked. Literally, you can be emotionally constipated, you can be physically constipated. I do a lot with the yogic Ayurvedic traditions and studying those lower chakras and how our digestive organs, our sex organs, everything is there. So I wanted to just introduce today this conversation, which may be triggering for you. If you are triggered right now, if you're feeling anything in your body, just make note of that. Most of us don't want to talk about sex. I know I didn't, until I realized how important it is as a part of our whole beingness as humans in experiencing pleasure and experiencing connection. We'll talk about Tantra next week with Scotty O on Tuesday, the 22nd. But briefly introducing it, what is sacred sexuality? So the word sacred is, and this may be a paradigm shift for you. Most people think of like a religion service, church service. I want to get away from that. Sacred starts with the same letters as sacral. Sacred union is a divine union. Sacred to me means a divine connection with your inner divinity that is inside of your heart and really your whole body, mind, and spirit connection. When you have that deep reverence for something, someone, and it's a deep, deep heart, sacred connection. Food is sacred. Sex is sacred. Your connection with yourself and others in love unconditional is sacred. It's our birthright to have all of this in this human 3D realm. And if you have any preconceptions or judgments around any of these things, like we'll take food as an example. Food is meant to be a sacred practice and ritual from thousands of years ago. There's a reason people pray before meals. I call it really just dropping in and having grace and breathing, and then saying gratitude for the food, gratitude for the people, showing reverence to all that it took to have that meal in front of you. That's a sacred ritual. Sexuality, again, has been repressed, abused, used. Again, the whole ancestral raped and pillaged conversation. There's a lot of pain and trauma with it. And so what I want to introduce, and what Mary Magdalene even writes about in this book, Magdalene's Journey, which is a channeled message from Mary Magdalene, in bringing back that sacred union of the feminine and the masculine energies. You have that within you. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a partner. It's more of an energy and a connection with yourself, your inner self, your higher self, your soul self, whatever you call it. Balancing out the feminine and the masculine energetics can bring about the orgasm of life, the bliss, the joy, the feeling of connection first with yourself. If you're not connected to yourself, like I wasn't 5 years ago when I started this podcast, you're going to be feeling lost. You're going to be feeling a void, emptiness inside of you. So sacred sexuality is just an energetic force that we all have access to, and shifting that paradigm that talking about sex is bad, it's evil, or I have shame, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to talk about it publicly. Like there's no way I would have done this episode 2 years ago. But understanding that it's normal, it's actually very healthy to have pleasure practices, have your own way of healing your sacral and your root chakra, which for me is Kundalini yoga. There's a lot of different practices in alchemy that I bring in to talk about people to opening themselves up to love, opening themselves up to empowerment, opening themselves up to reclaim their power and not just give their bodies or sex away either. There's a balance in there. There's a grounded and rootedness when you stand in your truth and you claim and own your sexuality as a healthy, sacred practice. So a lot of what's happening on the planet right now, the age of Aquarius, is calling on sacred sexuality to be important, to be recognized, because it was thousands and thousands of years ago in the temples of Isis and Mary Magdalene. They practiced this in temples. Okay, so it's not evil, it's not bad. There's no shame in it, unless of course that's your programming and that's how you were raised, unfortunately, which is probably 90 to 95% of us out there, especially if you've had experiences that weren't consensual or didn't go the way you had hoped, or unfortunately, if you have been raped or broken up with someone or divorced. There's a lot of cleansing and clearing that gets to happen to reclaim your power. So this was my introduction. You're going to hear me talk about this more with Scotty O next week. Women, if you want to attend my workshop on Friday, it's at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Go to info@magdalenagrace.com. Rather, send me an email, info@magdalenagrace.com, and I will get connected with the information. It's a sliding scale, only $33 to $44, sacred exchange. Even money is sacred, that sacred exchange. To be able to participate, you'll get the recording as well, and we're going to get together and have an honest, real, raw, much deeper than this conversation around sex. So sending you so much love and light. Here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best relationships, and your best wisdom around your sacred sexuality. If you saw value today, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone you know who may have trauma around sex and who doesn't maybe quite understand that this is normal and we can have normal conversations about it, but maybe they just don't have a safe space. So thank you so much. Until next time, take care. And just remember that the best is yet to come in your life. It all begins on the inside. Take care.